Have you ever been told that you don't look like somebody from your country? If you're looking to get into film and TV acting here, you might experience some pretty weird behaviour and receive unsolicited comments about your appearance. It can be a pretty superficial, shallow industry where your face alone will ensure that you won't get an audition. And the way God put your face together just won't be enough. And it will attract judgment. People might look at your face and think, wow, she's a bitch. Or that you're not from this country. Not that I've had that experience. So wait! Gemma Laurel. Hi. Where are you from? Sydney. I mean, where were you born? Australia? Where were your parents from? Australia too? What about your grandparents? Also Australia? Do you work at Ancestry.com or... You don't look Australian. Next! So maybe you can help me out here and let me know what an Australian is supposed to look like. Drop a comment below, or if your only experience has been watching Crocodile Dundee and you might be a little bit in trouble there because you might be stuck in the 80s. Why am I doing an American accent? When I first started acting, there was so much I didn't know about the industry, specifically the casting process. I started out, like most people, having a little bit of a dabble. At the time I started taking acting classes, I was doing that outside of my regular day job, which was a criminal prosecuting barrister. And yes, I wore those wigs to court. It's kind of fun to dress up. Everyone in the room's doing it. From courtroom to classroom, I found it was a good way to balance out the two opposing energies. The energy of competition, domination, and complete annihilation. Balancing that out with some fun. But I had to quickly learn the fine arts to the arts. My first eye-opener to acting in Australia? You won't be cast for what you think is an obvious choice. There was a casting call for a drama TV series on the Gold Coast. They were looking for a lawyer, and between this age and this age, the usual acting breakdown casting notice. I thought, finally, now's my chance. I know how to do this in my sleep. I can bring that to a television show. This role is finally made for me. I fit the demographic, the age range they were looking for. I applied to that casting call. Did I get brought in for an audition? No! I got rejected before I could even open my mouth because casting officers will take one look at your photo and either get back to you saying come on in for an audition or not. It's a judgy business, and just your face alone will cause people to reject you in a myriad of ways that you will never understand. Mental health topic, that's a whole other video. A casting agent told me, quote, "You don't look like a lawyer," unquote. I did let them know that I was currently a practicing lawyer with at least 3 years experience in the courtroom. I thought maybe that's just a one-off. It happened again this year. Now with my acting agent, an Australian drama series had a casting office that threw out a brief that said looking for a Crown prosecutor. That's a very specific role. It's not just a lawyer. You are actually engaged by the Crown, i.e. the Queen, usually at the federal or state levels, which I was. That's my experience. That's my background. And Crown prosecutors specifically deal in criminal law. So again, it's a very specific skill set. Thank goodness they were looking for a woman who was in the mature category. They don't want some 20-year-old Crown prosecutor, which is just like how they cast TV shows now. Ageism! Anyway, rant. I fit the demographic. Yay, my age is actually an asset. But here we go again. Oh, Gemma, you'd be perfect for this? I'll just give them a quick call. Maybe they didn't see your profile. Yeah, Gemma will be perfect. She's exactly the right age. She was a Crown prosecutor for the federal and state governments, so knows all the fancy courtroom language and can bring value to... Sorry, Gemma, I tried. What? What does this even mean? Casting calls here have been... I feel like one of those walking John Travolta confused gifs. So just bear that in mind if you're looking to be cast here for Australian TV and film roles. It's difficult to know what to do when you get hit with something like, you don't look like you're from your own country. I am Australian. How do I even prove that? Oh, I know. Let me show you how Australian I am by doing some stereotypically Australian things. Is the tomato sauce free? Oh. Oh, lucky I carry this with me. You sure it's free? Or you'll have a massive collection of reusable bags that you don't even use. Like you forget to take them with you on it. You know what, that's actually not like necessarily just what Australians do. I swear I only put 2 in there. They breed like rabbits, don't they? I just realised that all of those things aren't really being Australian, that's just what poor people do. Second thing is, you'll probably do some really interesting auditions. Ah, the audition! So what kind of things can you be expected to do? I've been asked to mime using a pistol, so a gun, and then crouch behind a couch and pretend to like pew pew over the top of it. I've been asked to do burpees in a bra. Been asked to stand on top of a milk crate and pretend to use it as stairs for a breakfast cereal commercial. Despite me telling the casting director I'm probably going to break that crate. I'm about 6 foot tall, just to give you an idea of perspective. He was like, nah, it'll be fine, it won't break, yeah, just step on it. So I broke it and fell through, all delightfully caught on camera. I hit a guy in the face with my left breast. To Virgin Australia, I am sorry I could not be your perfect airline hostess. I hope that you at least got a laugh out of the footage. I probably should explain that one for context. I was brought in for an airline commercial to play the role of a hostess. I thought, oh, cool, like they're usually hot, this is great. Ego. And when you're in the waiting room, you don't know whether the casting agent is going to want a group of you to come in and audition all at once together for the tape. I was brought in along with 2 lovely young men, and we were told to walk towards the camera together, so a line of the 3 of us. And the thing about shooting on camera is that distances are skewed from reality. So on the screen, you look further apart than what you actually are in real life. So the casting director was saying, get closer together, because otherwise we look very spaced on the screen. So you basically had to be shoulders touching to look like you're normally walking together. We were asked to do that classic slow motion walk to camera and then turn and smile. Like that's what you do as an air hostess. Everything's in slow motion. We didn't pre-plan this stuff, so all of us actors were just doing what we were told. So slow, yeah, walk to camera and closer and turn. We did what we were told, except none of us had pre-rehearsed this. So the gentleman to my left, who was, you know, about yay high on me, because I'm a giraffe size, so I make everyone who stands next to me look like a child at the best of times. So me in heels is like, holy to most people. I get looked at like I'm a freak here. So my fellow actor, he turns towards me. I turn towards him. And his head's like this high. And 2 things collide. You get the idea. So Virgin Australia, if you ever run an adult airline service where the hostesses slap their passengers in a kinky fashion for not paying attention for 5 seconds to the emergency announcement, then please give me a shout out on the socials for that great idea. Little follow up, I actually, because I'm so in the moment when I'm acting, I literally said to the guy, I'm so sorry I boob whacked you. And he just wasn't even fazed, like, oh, how good, maybe he got that ad, I don't know, but man, he deserves some credit there. It's like he didn't even notice. I was mortified. Okay, finally, now that we've done the bad and the hilarious, here's the good about acting in Australia. I've never had the creepsville experiences that you hear in the news feeds, like the ones you hear overseas. Possibly because this industry is so small here that if something did weird go down, it'd just go viral. We haven't gone full Hollywood here, so there's no casting couch horror stories that I've heard of. So many of the casting folk have been kind and supportive and really fun to work with. I'd like to shout out to not getting paid for this. I'll shout out to casting directors Faith Martin, Dave Newman, and Alison and Steph at Chicken and Chips Casting. One of the most standout pieces of acting advice that I received came from casting director Dave Newman. If you ever get a chance to meet him, you're gonna love him. He's fantastic. He said words to the effect that keep living your life outside of acting. Don't make acting your whole life. Of course, it wasn't until I did the opposite of that for about a decade. I tend to be all or nothing when I focus. That his words really made a lot of sense. Acting may not turn out the way you had planned in the time that you thought it was going to happen. So it's important for you to flourish in other areas of life. Have a family, have a hobby, have another job or interest. Keep living your life outside of acting. If you're excited about acting or are thinking about turning your mind to the film and television acting world in Australia, leave a comment below, drop a question, maybe help somebody else out in the community with what your experience has been. That's what this channel is all about, and that's what I want to build here, is a community of people who are positive, helping each other out, and we share our experiences and learn a few new things. You don't know if what you have to share is going to help somebody else out, so do it! Thank you for being here. You keep being awesome.